Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're gonna get started with our piano app. So what I've done is basically I've created my app here, and this is an empty project except one change. So I've added the package dependency for AudioKit. So all you gotta do for that is go when your app is created, go under the app settings and basically select the project as your app's name, and you're gonna find three tabs there: info, build setting, and package dependencies. Now click on package dependencies and then click on this plus button, and then search for the AudioKit here. Now AudioKit is pretty popular, so you're gonna find it very easily, and so search for AudioKit, and then you'll find this AudioKit link. Just click on add package, and as soon as you add package, you're gonna see a dialog asking you, do you want to add this package onto your project? And you just say yes, and there we have it. Then you're gonna be exactly at the same spot where I am. Okay, all right. So what this does is basically this brings the AudioKit framework as a package inside our app, and now our app actually recognizes what AudioKit is, and we can start using the AudioKit right away. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call this model. And this model is going to include an empty file, and this file we're going to call it as AudioManager. Okay, and this is basically the AudioManager.swift, and let's go ahead and import SwiftUI in case we need any SwiftUI components. We're gonna also import foundation. Let me move this up so they're in order, and we are going to need to import AudioKit, as well as actually another one, which is AV Foundation. All right, so these are all the imports that we're gonna need, and what we're gonna do next is we are going to create basically an actor. So instead of creating a class or a struct, we're gonna create something called actor. Okay, and we're gonna name this as AudioManager. All right, now before we actually start populating this actor, let's go ahead and discuss what it is. So an actor is basically another reference type, so it's just like a class, and so it's a type natively defined in Swift. And basically what it does is this reference type is used to create a protection around mutable state for the concurrent programming. So when there are cases where your multiple threads are accessing the same type or same instance of an object, and they're waiting on each other, there is a data race condition that's created. And you can go and research a little bit more about data races and concurrency programming, and you'll find out more. But this actor type, what it does is it ensures that only one task can access the instance at a time. So only one has access to it. So in past, when actor was not there in the picture in Swift, at that moment we used to use something called semaphore. But now that has gone away, or semaphore is still there, but there is a modern way of handling things. And with the new concurrent programming, which is async and await, you have actors that play the same role, but they make sure that in the multi-threaded environment, the objects are handled safely. Okay, so actors, they support and ensure thread safety, they encapsulate state, and they support asynchronous methods. Now, one of the important things to remember about using actors is they must be used with await. So they must be used with async and await, and actors. Defining an actor does not mean that you don't have to call async and await. That is a structure that you still have to provide to manage the concurrency state. And actors basically just unlike classes, actors do not support any kind of inheritance. That means if you are inheriting for something, then you'd have to rely on creating classes, and you'd have to manage your own state to make sure data race conditions don't occur. Okay. All right, so those are actors, and with that, let's go ahead and start with some properties. So first property we're going to create is going to be called Audio Engine. Okay, and we're going to make it optional. Second one is going to be called Mixer, which is going to be a mixer type. Now, if you option click on your class, you're going to see that this is basically a wrapper that is created inside the AudioKit, and it underneath it uses AV Audio Engine. So your AudioKit is basically using AV Audio Engine along with some other things that it's doing, but that's what like this Audio Engine instance is for. And similar to that, Mixer is another type that is defined inside your AudioKit. Okay. Third one, or like another property or variable that we're gonna create is gonna be called sampler. Okay, and this is gonna be a MIDI sampler. MIDI sampler is another type that is defined inside an AudioKit. So basically, it provides you the sampler instance. Now, MIDI, if you are not aware of that one, MIDI is basically a musical instrument digital interface. It is a standardized protocol that allows electronic musical instrument, like for example, on the computers or other electronic devices, to produce and enable precise sequencing and synchronization for producing the musical notes. Okay, so that's what MIDI basically stands for. So let's go ahead and keep on going. What we're going to do next is we're going to create a shared instance of this AudioManager. So this AudioManager is always accessible using the same instance. Okay, so we're going to create a static let shared instance for AudioManager, and we're also going to make sure that we create a private initializer for this. So so this AudioManager cannot be initialized by some other external means. Okay, now we're going to start working on our functions. So the first function that we're going to create is going to be called setup audio. Okay, and setup audio can throw, so we're going to set it as throws. And first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check for engine to be nil, otherwise we're gonna return. Okay, now if engine is nil and we proceed to the next line, then we're gonna create our audio engine instance. We're also gonna create an instance for our mixer. So we are basically initializing all these optional properties that we created. And we'll try to basically get the instance next instance of the mixer. If we can't, then we're gonna throw an error, audio engine dot setup failed. Let's see, sorry, not audio engine, audio error. And let's go ahead and create our audio error type. So we're going to create an enum here called audio error, which is going to be of error type, and we're going to basically have a case setup failure or setup failed for that one. Okay. All right. So now we are in the next line, we are able to extract or get the instance for mixer. And what we're going to do is first we're going to create our sampler. So let's go ahead and take the MIDI sampler, and we're going to name this piano. Okay, and let's go ahead and get the instance of sampler. So if let sampler, so if we can get sampler, we'll use mixer, add input using the sampler, the MIDI sampler that we just got, and we're going to set the engine's output as the mixer. Okay, and then at the end of the function, we're going to try to start the engine, the audio engine. All right, so this is basically all the setup that we need, and this is essentially setting up our audio engine, or like in another sense, AV audio engine through the AudioManager kit, through the AudioKit. Okay. All right. Next, we are going to create a function, and this function is gonna help us play the node. So this function is gonna receive a type MIDI node, and it's gonna receive the velocity, and MIDI velocity is what we're gonna set as a default value. Then we're gonna play that node on the sampler itself. So let's go ahead and create a function here, play node, and the node is going to be of type MIDI note number. Okay, and then we're gonna have another variable called velocity, and this is gonna be MIDI velocity. Let's set a default value of 127 for this one, and we're gonna have our sampler, and we're gonna play this note that we got with the velocity that we received on the mini channel. All right, so this is basically our function to play a note. Now we also want to stop the note, so we're going to say function stop note, and this is going to be our MIDI note type that we receive, so MIDI note number, and we are simply going to reach out to sampler and stop that note, and once again we're going to keep the same channel as min. All right, so with that, we have done everything that we need to do for our AudioManager setup. Okay, so let's hop on to the next video where we're going to start creating some extensions for the colors, so we can actually create colors or color properties for our key colors. Okay, the black key and the white key, and what's going to be the highlighted color key. Okay, so all that in the next video. Thank you.